Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Landon Barton. Today we're going to be learning about one of the most important documents, not only to our nation, but to each individual American. Today we're not going to talk about the Declaration of Independence, nor the Constitution. Today we're going to talk about the first 10 amendments to our Constitution, which is the Bill of Rights. Our founding fathers had a vision, they had a dream, that the federal government would not be almighty and powerful, that the government would have restrictions, and that the people would have rights. So in 1798, the First Continental Congress proposed 10 amendments to our Constitution, which were ratified in 1791. Now, as we can see, the original document is very long and lengthy. The text is somewhat hard to understand. So what I've done for you guys is I have broken down each one of these amendments into an easier way to understand them. And we're going to go over them together and learn the Bill of Rights. So our first amendment in our Bill of Rights is the freedom of speech, of the press, to assemble, and religion. What our founding fathers didn't want was for the government, like in England in those times, to propose a certain religion and that's it, everyone had to follow that. They came to this country for religious freedom. So that's why this was very important to them to be the first amendment for a Bill of Rights. The second amendment in the Bill of Rights is to the right to keep and bear arms. Our founding fathers felt very strongly with this, and it also talks about the need for a militia. Militias were used in the Revolutionary War to defeat the British. These were farmers, these were shoemakers, these were blacksmiths, all with their personal weapons to form a militia to help force the British out and for us to win the Revolution. The third amendment to the Constitution is it limits conditions for quartering soldiers. What it basically means is that no soldier could have to live in a civilian's house without the consent of the owner. What was happening during the colonial times is the British was forcing people to house soldiers and to feed them. So to stop this, we put this in the Bill of Rights. Our fourth is very, very important. It is our right against illegal search and seizure. So the government, so law enforcement, cannot enter your home, cannot search your stuff, and cannot take things from you without probable cause. And the Fourth Amendment protects us from having to go through that. The fifth protects our right against double jeopardy. What double jeopardy is so we don't have to be tried, so someone doesn't have to be tried for the same crime more than once. Also, it requires us not to be a witness against ourselves, so we do not have to speak to police in matters of like a criminal investigation regarding us, and one does not have to testify against themselves in court. Our Sixth Amendment is our right to a speedy trial, is our right to an impartial jury, and for us to confront our witnesses in court and to have legal counsel, a lawyer, to help us guide us through a criminal trial or any kind of trial. The Seventh Amendment guarantees a jury trial for federal civil cases. So for civil crimes, something like that just guarantees us a right to a trial. The Eighth Amendment is against excessive bail and cruel and unusual punishment. But here's something to think about: is capital punishment, the death penalty, does that consist under cruel punishment? This is an issue that is quite frequently talked about. The Ninth Amendment is actually a kind of a catch-all thing. It's basically what it says is the government cannot infringe on additional rights that are not already covered. They're not covered yet here. So the Ninth Amendment is often cited during debates about abortion and gay marriage and stuff like that. Finally, we have the 10th Amendment. What the 10th Amendment does is anything not covered in the Constitution, it gives the states power and the rights to govern themselves and add these additional laws and such. So this is just a brief explanation of the Bill of Rights. Now I'm curious to you students, which one of these rights means the most to you? We'll start over here with you, Justin.
Number one, freedom of speech, press and religion.
And how so?
It allows us to speak out against the government in case they do something that the people don't like.
That's true. It also gives us the right to have a class today. We are allowed here to peacefully assemble and I can teach and speak to you. Sarah, out of all these rights, which one means the most to you?
I would say the first one as well, because of the freedom of religion. I don't want somebody telling me what I have to believe.
Absolutely. This was one of the key things of why the Pilgrims came to America to start this new country, to be able to have freedom to practice their own religion. Colin, out of these 10 amendments, which one means the most to you and why?
Number 4, because I believe the government should have to have probable cause to search us.
That is a great, out of these 4 amendments, that is a very, very important one. Well, if we think of North Korea, in a sense that that's a country where you're not allowed to speak out, that they can come and take you or take anything from you, and then you could maybe be thrown in a trial without any kind of counselor or just thrown in jail. So, it makes us really think, be grateful for that we have these rights. So, I want to thank you all for listening to this class, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Barton.